Hey gang, welcome to Two Blokes from Down Under. I'm Simon Guthrie. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Ben Ennis. How are you, Benny?
Good, mate. You?
Very well, thank you. Ben, Season 2 of Two Blokes from Down Under is brought to us by Ken Muston Automotive. For all your motoring needs, pop down and see the team for Isuzu Ute, Ram Trucks, MG, Jeep, Subaru and Mercedes-Benz. That's Ken Muston Automotive, 215 Benalla Road, Shepparton. And Ben, this episode's brought to us by Extons of Benalla, proudly family owned and operated since 1952. Extons are your one-stop shop for all your earthworks, bulk haulage and equipment sales. You can find them at 85 Gilly Street, Benalla, or jump on their website at extons.com.au. Benny, a little bit overawed in this one, so...
Yeah, I'm feeling you, mate.
Our next guest doesn't have a list of achievements as long as my arm. It's as long as the bloody Hume Highway, so it should be exciting. So let's get into it. So our next guest, Ben, started competing at the age of 14 and has never looked back. On the cycling track, he's an Olympic Gold Medalist, a Commonwealth Gold Medalist, a World Champion, and has held world records in the team pursuit. On the road, he's competed against the biggest names in the sport in the biggest tours on the planet, like Tour de France, Tour de Italy and Tour of Spain. He's won stages in the team time trials. In 2015, he retired from competing and now is the team director of the British professional cycling team, Ineos Grenadiers. Welcome to Two Blokes from Down Under. Brett Lancaster. How are you, bud?
Good, guys. Thanks for having me along.
Welcome, Brett.
Brett, we'll go way back to the start. Where did it all begin for you, mate? Where were you born? And
Born right here in Shep, mate.
In Shepparton?
1979.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So local boy, went to school here?
Yeah, Gary Street first, then Wanganui.
Gary Street and Wanganui. Did you play any sport and everything back then?
Tried everything, mate. Tried everything.
Yeah.
I wasn't really one for the ball sports. If you know my brother Clint, he excelled in that, the cricket and football. I tried, but wasn't too good at that. Obviously, the individual sports, little athletics, swimming, tried rowing, a bit of everything. So, and then eventually found cycling.
Rowing?
Yeah.
How'd you go in that?
I can dive into that later if you want, but the coach was no good. So,
if you're listening.
and when I got discovered or whatever by the Victorian Institute of Sport, and they tested me, obviously had these super long arms at 2 metres, like longer than my height, which is what fits for a row. And they said, "You would have made a good rower. Do you want to try that as well?" So, I've tried that. So it's one of them when you're young and having a good coach and people believe in the sport, not yell at you, is a big thing,
Yeah.
Interesting.
When did you first get onto a bike?
At the age of 14.
14?
Yeah.
So you just rode...
13, 14, yeah.
As a kid, you would have just rode a normal, like BMX or something around the streets? And
yeah, we used to live in Wentworth Street and had the dippers back then, it was called, I think.
Back on the river there.
Had BMX, just knocked around with my mates, but never raced or anything.
We'd
come home with skin off, etc., etc.
Yeah,
But not until, actually, a crazy story how I got into cycling. Had my uncle Peter Baxter, he's a local builder. You might have heard of him.
Yeah.
His friend Graham Gillespie rode on the track. And anyway, I was at Pete's house one night, Pete had a race bike, and I took it around the block in a pair of sand shoes, come back. He looked at the top speed, it was 52, and he said, "Oh, that can't be right, you're 13, 14. Go back again. He said, "Try it again." So then did the same. He's called his mates. Said, "Get around here. Look at this kid."
Really?
Yeah. So by luck, and then I went down the track, raced once, won my first race from very first race, and the rest is history.
Wow.
That's the go.
52. How old? Age 13.
14, yeah. And you're talking bike back then with down tube levers and steel frames.
Yeah.
So...
by
a bit of luck,
Yeah.
That's how it all started.
Wow.
Natural straight away. So you went down to the Shep track?
Yep.
Yeah. So how did you start competing? What was the first race you ever rode in? And
oh, God. It was, they had handicaps back then. So, I was off probably 40, 50 metres. A guy from Cobram, from memory, was Bevan Humphreys. He was the guy to beat back then. Yeah. So it didn't take long to be, rustling up with him. And, Yeah, they had the scratch race, point score, and I think the Shep Velodrome back then was pretty big. And then when I started my career got a bit bigger.
Yeah,
Wednesday nights were quite big. You had guys coming like Baden Cook over from Benalla and Bendigo people on the Wednesday night, and it was a lot bigger than it is now, of course, unfortunately.
Yeah, they had the big carnival at was it New Year's or Christmas around that time as well?
New Year's Day.
New Year's Day. Yeah, it was huge down there. Wednesday nights were massive.
Yeah, they were good. Yeah, got a good following, and yeah.
So that when you started, was there? How did they have it? A, B, and C grade still? Was it split up like that? Because I can't remember.
Now you're pushing it.
No, that's all right. I just wasn't sure where you entered in. Like, was in the age group or straight into?
I think it probably was age group.
Wouldn't have taken you long to step up with
the B grade
with the big boys,
and League and etc. And Stevenson's and
Yep. Nice.
I did hear a whisper that I was speaking to an ex-bike rider the other day. They reckon Wednesday night club nights were just no different to a competition night. Every Wednesday it was that competitive, that many good guys around that it was really hard every Wednesday night.
Yeah, it was, and I think another thing for me into the sport, you get $50 cash, so I didn't have to work. I mean, and that has been my job ever since. Cycling.
That's too good.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Love it. Right, took off.
Yeah. Did any of your other brothers, sisters, whoever? What's in your family? Who's in your family?
Yeah, younger sister and brother.
They get into it.
My brother tried a few times, I think, but like I said just before, he's really good at ball sports and cricket and went bush rangers, etc. So.
Yeah.
And my sister did the netball thing.
Yeah. Okay.
And my parents mum played netball, dad didn't play any sports, so
he didn't.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting, because. I don't know if you know, Ben, there's about 6,000 of the Lancasters.
Yeah, no, that's what we were talking about earlier. Yeah, we're all going to know someone.
There's heaps of them, so it's interesting. So you went from Shepherd and stuff, like club days and stuff. When did it get real serious for you?
I got a VIS, Victorian Institute of Sports scholarship when I was under 17. So I started in under 15s, did 2 years there. And I think I was offered that second year under 15, so when 16 years old. Went down, did all the testing, etc. And then the state titles come along and the national championship, started travelling around for those big events. Yeah,
okay. When you said before, you know, on that old bike you're doing 52k an hour, what's an average speed for, say, a 17, 18-year-old kid in Victoria for the VIS?
Over, a road race or...
Probably on a road race. What would they average?
Yeah, look, the funny thing is my boy's just got into it. He's 14. Very similar genetics.
Yeah,
like big guy, big shoulders. He has got a big engine. Still doing it for fun, and he can average for a 10k time trial. But they're on a restricted gear. You have to remember, 6 meter rollout's quite small, so they're spinning a lot. 40k an hour, 41, 42. He's got the state championships this weekend, and he'll probably, he's going for the win. First, second, there's one kid a little bit better than him.
Yeah.
He'll average around 41, 42.
How's so he's pretty handy.
He goes all right.
Yeah.
I like this.
All right. Dad's pretty talented. Yeah, he goes all right.
He must be all right then. So you still at school when you got that, or you dumped school?
No. I finished VCE.
Yep.
So I think if you jump forward a little bit, had a very supportive school and, principal and teachers back then at Wanganui.
Yep.
Like absolutely brilliant.
Yep.
I didn't pass the attendance rate. They helped me out with that through the Victorian schools or whatever and passed me through.
Yeah. Nice.
I went to South Africa and won a world title while I was doing VCE.
Nice.
Trained in Sydney, etc.
Yep.
With the national team that year.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was like,
obviously
I didn't pass with flying colours, but I passed VCE.
Yeah, you still stuck it out.
And won a world title in the same year.
Yeah, nice.
The very next day, graduated on a plane off to Adelaide, the Australian Institute of Sport, where we shared with the cricketers down at Del Monte at Henley Beach in Adelaide.
Yep.
Is that on the road that you won that track? On a track?
Yeah.
Yeah, in what?
Team pursuit.
In the team pursuit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that your favourite event? Or was?
Oh, 100%.
Loved it?
Yeah, I loved it. I love that team camaraderie and, making sure it works on the day. And fortunately we had other good athletes around us at the time that we clicked with and got along really well with, and we worked well.
Yeah, okay. How'd you juggle track and road? Because they're sort of two different. I mean, yes, you're riding a bike still, but you're one's like on a go-ped and one's on
go-ped.
Goey.
Goey. That's old Shep terminology for you.
Yeah, it's a good question. Fortunately, well, that's how do I explain this? I up until Sydney, I was with the Australian Institute of Sport, which was just a track program. Sort of, let's say I was institutionalised a lot.
Yeah.
And I gave up the sport after that for 10 months, actually, which we can talk about.
Yeah.
So with Charlie Walsh, a hardcore coach where we overtrained, we were always fatigued, coming to the race, overtrained. And he was like that, the army, like the mints, you throw them in at the top, you got world of athletes, you go throw 20 in and the best five come out.
The bottom.
I come out the bottom, but on the limit,
Yeah.
And my first World Championships as a senior was in Bordeaux in France, and we finished 4th or 5th, devastated. Then after that, we actually didn't train a lot, and then, recovered, got on the piss a couple of times actually, and went to the Commonwealth Games, freshened up, and we won the things as an 18-year-old.
Really?
Yeah. So it didn't click still for him then, and we went on to Sydney and we finished 4th or 5th. In the team pursuit.
The back to that training again.
Yeah. Like full on. Small gears, under geared. We could have gone bigger. There's a lot to it.
Yeah.
So that was those years. I took 10 months off after that to rediscover myself and the love for the sport, which I did. Luckily.
And how old were you then?
I was 20, 21.
So you'd been riding for sort of 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And then pulled the pin.
Yeah, I mean, I got into cycling and why I loved it was to race, and we didn't race much. Did a few World Cups here and there in Colombia or Canada or wherever it was in the world. We travelled a lot, which was an experience as a young guy. Got to see, Colorado Springs were there for a while and like these beautiful places.
Yeah.
But I lost all love for the sport, hung it up, and my now wife, Ali, girlfriend back then, we moved to Melbourne and got a normal job and it worked for a year.
Really?
Yeah.
What'd you actually do for a job? This would be good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I can see by the look on your face.
I don't want to say.
Okay, don't.
Worked in a skate shop and fitted out binding fittings for people going up to the snow. Yeah.
That's okay.
So, it was back down to earth, and then I had a plan to get back on the bike in September or just a little bit before with my coach back then, Dave Sanders, renowned coach who's looked after many good athletes, and went to the Sun Tour, won a stage and got a bit of a contract, went to Belgium and started again, but all on off my own bat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Living in Belgium that next year, the team sort of ran out of money. So I was going out racing these Camisas and winning them and etc. just to make the rent that year. And then, did it really tough. Had a great year though.
Yeah.
And the Australian team asked me to come back and ride the World Championships on the track that year. Then won my first senior world title and we broke the world record in Copenhagen. So
just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, I know. I'm lost. We've gone through so many achievements. No, you haven't. But there's just too many achievements in so much time. So I've got you back here, still back in early in your career. You were on a road bike. We've got a national junior road championship.
Is that right?
Is that right?
Yeah. So in Barrel, in New South Wales.
Yeah.
Criterium.
So is that still pre-AIS?
Yep. Yeah, that was VIS.
Yeah, so you'd obviously got right into the road too though while you're still doing that track riding. When Simon was talking about before mixing up the track and the road, how was that like with two different things? You're still doing two lots of cycling. You got the track and track training or whatever, and you're going out the road doing distance. Is that hard for a cyclist? Like just for people who don't know? I don't know if you can explain that or not, or
yeah, it's difficult. Cycling's been through these different phases over the last 20 years.
Yep.
Even when we won our gold medal in Athens, we switched from the road. I rode the Giro d'Italia that year, the Tour of Italy.
Yep.
and did a big track block, and then we won the Olympics. So we switched it, but luckily I had the teams that supported me then.
Yep.
And even back then, like my son will start the track this summer. So as a young guy, he still could do both. When I was under 19, you did the road season, track season.
Yep.
And then, like I said, when I was with Charlie Walsh, those years was just track.
Yeah.
With a lot of road training.
Yeah. Okay.
And now it's gone back to, after changing around, the Italians are the best team pursuiters in the world.
Yeah.
We've got Filippo Ganna in our team, the world record holder for team pursuit and absolute individual pursuit guru.
Yep.
He does both with us, switches back. The Italians are doing it really well at the moment, getting them mixed in together.
Yeah, okay. Because it's interesting when you watch obviously the Com Games have only just been on. The track guys look like bodybuilders, like a lot of them.
Massive legs.
Yeah, mate, they're tanks. And then you see the road guys that are, slim.
Yeah.
And that's where, like for the outsiders that don't know, would confuse the two. How can you go from one to the other? Like I wouldn't want to see one of these track guys on a road bike.
Yeah, well, you got the track sprint guys, which are huge. But then you have track endurance with the team pursuit.
Yeah, righto. Yeah, that's probably the picture I'm trying to paint. There's two different types of track riders as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You got your 100-kilo blokes that look like bodybuilders in the gym. That, very short, explosive stuff, 10 seconds or...
Sprinters.
Team sprint is 3 laps max. And there's 3 of them, which you've probably just seen now in the Commonwealth Games. If you put them on a road bike, they'd last maybe 5, 10K. Or just go up a hill, they're gone.
Yeah, okay.
But the New Zealand guy who just won the road race yesterday, he won 4 gold medals. And the road race, he won the team pursuit, individual pursuit as well.
So how long are those pursuits on the track? Because we're talking about this same person that can ride road, which is what you did. You could do road and then go back to the track. So they're a longer distance, aren't they? Yeah.
4K. And then the scratch race is 10, 20 kilometres or point score even longer. Yeah,
it's quite a big race, isn't it? Yeah, that's all right. Just trying to paint a picture for the people who can't see you to go, if they picture a track rider and then you're a road rider. So
a team pursuit's 4,000 metres, is that right?
Yep.
The race?
Yep.
So, and how that works is 4 guys just in a single file and you probably ride a lap and then change over and head to the back?
Pretty much. It's changed a lot since we had.
I dumbed that down pretty much.
Yeah, 4 guys. You got your starter. When we were doing it, the starter would do three quarters of a lap. Now the starter's doing 2.5 laps. It's changed a lot, and the gears are way bigger. They've gone from when we won the Olympics, it was 106, 108 inch gear. Now they're using 120, 125 inch gear, which is massive.
Yeah.
And the first guy's basically one of those sort of bigger sprint guys. He never finishes anymore. He does this. He drops off first 2.5 laps, and then he does another 2-lap turn. He swings off. He's done. Another 3 bring it home. So it has evolved and changed a lot.
Yeah, because in the team pursuit, it's the first 3. It's the last wheel of the third guy. Is that right?
Yep.
That's where your time clock clicks off.
So you got to finish with 3.
Yeah. And what's an individual pursuit? How far is that?
Same.
Still 4,000 metres?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Right, now we're trying to paint a picture before we get through all the rest of it.
All right, so 96, we won a junior race, come first, what you said before. 97, you won the National Junior Road Championships as well in a time trial. How did that work? You remember that one? We're going back a long time.
Is that individual?
This is on the road.
On the road would have been individual, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. What sort of distance is that over?
Yeah.
At that age, I can't remember.
No, that's okay.
25K, 20K.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are your average speed there?
I don't know back then. Let's say 45, 48.
Yeah, okay.
I guess.
Wowzers. All right. So on the track, we went. We did mention before you won a junior world title. Then you went in 1998. You went to Kuala Lumpur.
Yep.
In the Commonwealth Games. How was the lead up to that?
Yeah, I think I just mentioned it before.
Yeah, but
we had this world titles and we, overtrained and let our hair down a bit and relaxed, and we actually freshened up. And there as an 18-year-old, I only rode 1 Commonwealth Games, A few reasons for that was I didn't want to interfere after with my road career.
Yeah.
Although, once I saw one Olympic Games, I was like, this is the shit. You know,
okay.
Next level.
Next level. And I went on to do 3 more. Got asked a few times to do some other Commonwealth Games, but I didn't do them.
Yeah.
Not being big-headed or anything, I just, I saw the bigger picture.
Yeah, okay.
And it suited me. But as an 18-year-old, winning those games in Kuala Lumpur was pretty big,
Yeah. So I suppose more to my question was the lead up to it. I get your training schedule and that, but the lead up is in, hang on, I'm going to Commonwealth Games here. Yeah, this is pretty big. This is not as big as the Olympics, but it's pretty big. Did that sort of get to you or overawe you at all, or you just thought, oh, no, it's just another thing?
Oh, it was big, but I think not until we got there. We got there, and here's your room, and see all these other sports.
Yeah. Go
to the food hall. It's if I explain to anyone what the Olympics or Commonwealth Games are like, it's like a zoo or a circus. You got everything. The biggest shot putters, some of the tallest people in the world, short, strong, and you can sit there in the food hall actually and just
watch it walk past.
Yeah,
it's mind blowing actually.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
No, well, you've got Commonwealth Games not
because we watch them individually on TV playing their sport, but like I said, just sit there and watching all the
basketball.
Yeah,
and you meet these legends. I got to meet Muhammad Ali, shook his hand in Sydney. All the big basketball players.
Yeah, that's mad.
That sucks that you met him.
It's pretty cool.
That is cool. So
that's unreal.
So the Commonwealth Games, he's come 5th or something like that. Was that right? What did you say before? I can't remember.
Oh, the Worlds, you mean?
No, in the Commonwealth Games.
We won the Commonwealth Games.
Oh, you won it?
Yep, that's it.
In Kuala Lumpur.
First in team pursuit.
Yep.
And was that did you win it easy or did you just get over the line?
Yeah, it was an outdoor track, of course, very humid, up against the Poms in the final. We won pretty
comfortable.
Pretty comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Your teammates similar age?
Yeah, most of them were, yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit older, a couple of them.
Yep. So you normally have a pick of, say, 6 riders and then 4 of you make the cut, yeah?
Yeah.
So you all train together leading into that.
Yep.
You don't know who you're going to be mixed in with till very close to the race, or how early do you find out who the final 4 are?
We have a good idea between us who's going the strongest with the team pursuit.
Yep.
But you'll have, so you got a track team and you got a certain number. So you'll have, I'm probably wrong because it's been a while since I've been involved now.
Yeah.
So you got, say with a men's team, it's 12 athletes total.
Yep.
You can either take, 5 sprinters if you think they're stronger, then you can only have 5 endurance guys.
Yep.
And now it's a total of all the, like mountain bike and everything. Like yesterday, mountain biker started the road race because it's total endurance.
Okay.
So that's how it works.
Yep.
And it was a little bit like that back then.
Yep.
Probably had more total athletes.
Yep.
But we kind of knew who was going well, and it's an honesty system,
Yeah,
where if you know you're not good, you don't want to be the guy that lets the whole team down. So you probably put your hand up yourself and go, I'm not quite moving so well. I'm not ready to be in the final or the semi-final.
Okay. Yeah, that was probably my next question. How do you gel with the guys that you're all competing for a spot? But you got to be tight knit to obviously compete together, but you're going to chop someone out of the team. Does everyone get along pretty tight, or is there still a bit of you just don't get too close to someone because you don't want to be too good of a mate and then chop them out, or how's that go? I'm just curious. It's because there's a bit of mental game there too.
Yeah, I think in Athens when we won the gold in the Olympics, we had a lot of good guys. There were 6 of us that were really good, and a couple missed out, and it cut pretty deep.
Yep.
To some of these guys forever, but they did receive a gold medal for riding the qualify. The quarters.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. It's changed every Olympics since then, and yes and no, but they did receive a gold medal.
Yep.
And another example there is in the Beijing Olympics, I'd ridden the Giro d'Italia and the Tour de France back to back, and then tried to go to the Olympics.
Yep.
And I was
smoked.
Yeah, it was a bit of a risk. We knew that.
Yep.
But I thought, I'll take it on, and the coach thought, let's give it a go because I was so good in the previous Olympics.
Yep.
Yeah, but I got there and I was I just didn't have the punch, the power, the strength. I was exhausted, actually.
Yep.
And we're doing all the drills, and I thought I'd get better and better. Got the day before, and I said to the coach, "Come here, and I'll make your decision easy. I don't want to let the boys down. I can't. I'm not strong enough. I knew it." So,
yep.
Yeah, it's that
Put
honest.
your hand up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
I ended up riding individual pursuit, and
Yep.
well, I don't know what it was, 5th or 6th, but
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
And I think in sport, it's important. If you're in a team sport,
Oh, absolutely.
You've got to be honest, don't you?
Yeah. A lot of the other guys are pretty honest like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to know.
You don't want to be that guy on the front letting the team down.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, it'll haunt you for the rest of your life, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I like that.
I've got you 12th in the individual pursuit, mate.
Oh, jeez. He's trying
Yeah,
So is that where it was?
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. That was not
okay.
good.
Wasn't good at all.
I was good after then when I freshened up. Went to Tour of Germany and won the opening prologue. So, so the freshness come afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll be back at the Com Games. Let's move on from what come after the Com Games. Back to road for a bit.
You got 99 still on the track, I reckon.
Yep.
Team pursuit.
Team pursuit
Well-
there.
In Germany.
Well, you'd know all these players. Frisco, is that Germany?
Stuttgart. No, was it? Hang on.
Or Cali or something?
Cali was a World Cup in Colombia.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. So I was back to back on the track there.
Yeah.
Yep. World Cups.
No, the World Championships the following year were in Germany, but same sort of result under that same coach. We underperformed.
Pretty much same team though.
Yeah, similar team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that good being able to get to a few events with the same guys?
Yeah, it was, and the thing was the fatigue started creeping in the year before the Olympics, where we're in Germany and Butgen on this track. You got to understand how this is. You got a track, you got the accommodation, you eat there.
Yep.
So you wake up at 4:30 in the morning or 5. You do rollers on the home trainer, spin the legs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Breakfast, plyometrics, and then we go on the track. Big long warm up. Do 10 5-kilometre efforts, come back in, do a lap of this lake, have lunch, just pass out and sleep, and then do 10 2Ks in the afternoon, flying, all on these very small gears, and lap around this lake for recovery, day after day after day, and for weeks on end. And it just cracked a lot of guys, I think some of them were still mentally scarred from this to this day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot.
Where's that coach now?
He's in Adelaide now. He went on to have something to do with Adelaide Crows.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because the sports science, Neil Craig at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil. Yeah, he was with us then, and
Oh, really?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And Charlie, was by his side. But anyway, the whole time we had a guy called Ian McKenzie who was there taking notes, watching the whole thing. And he's the guy after those Olympics went, right, we'll do everything in half and we'll put the bigger gears on. We won world title back to back and then won the Olympics.
Yeah.
Wasn't rocket science.
Well, they did
Wow.
say it's sports science, but
Yeah.
obviously you got it right.
Yeah.
You got it wrong. So
Is there a message there? There should always be more than one person that makes a decision.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. 2000 Sydney Olympics. How was that? How was the Olympics in your home country? I suppose you would have had all your family, all your friends would have come. How was that for you? How's that experience? First Olympic Games.
As a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
From Shep.
From Shep.
Yeah.
Shep.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't do the opening. I've never been to an opening ceremony.
Is that because you had a race the next day? The road race?
Yeah, cycling was, and the track was always close at the start. So there was that. And we finished in the first sort of few days, and I just remember, the stands, and it was probably a bit too much. I maybe wasn't ready for it
Okay.
as an athlete. A lot of nerves.
Yeah.
But once again, we're under the same coach, so we weren't
Yeah.
we weren't flying.
Yeah.
But the whole experience was just breathtaking. Like you said, parents there and friends in the crowd.
Yeah.
Which was really good, but I changed things up a lot for the next Olympics. We could talk about that when we get there.
Yeah.
But it was quite unique what I did as an athlete to mentally prepare for the next one's what I learnt.
Yeah.
Which was I got too involved in the
okay.
whole Olympics, and I didn't streamline my thoughts around the race.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like this. So Sydney, how'd Sydney go? Talk us through that.
Of course, we finished there. Was it 4th or 5th? I should know that, but I tried
I
to.
should know that. No, you come 5th in
5th.
Sydney.
Yeah, 5th. That was amazing. I said afterwards, the parties and the time we had was next level.
Yeah, okay.
That's even better.
And Laurie Norris, the swimming coach. What's his name?
Yeah, Laurie Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
So we didn't have tickets to all these events, and we'd go there with him and the swimmers or whoever's finished and try and get into somewhere, and then we'd just start chanting. The media would come and make a racket, but they end up let us go into the events without tickets. So we went like the NBA when they had the dream team, and the volleyball or the boxing, whatever. We went like as a group, and in general, the swimmers and the rowers and the cyclists got along really well.
Yeah, okay.
Those sports, which is quite similar.
Yeah.
Disciplines, athletics is different to us and whatever, but that was what we did for the next 2 weeks, and
2 weeks.
pubs, nightclubs, or you had this pass to go anywhere.
So you partied with Ian Thorpe and Grant
yeah.
Hackett and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Just name dropper, isn't he?
This is mad.
Seen some unbelievable things.
2-week party, that's fair.
Yeah. Did the family stay up there, or as soon as your events, they all went home and don't know?
Well, I think they stayed around for a little bit and got them some tickets to other events when we could.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
But they were, I guess, obviously wasn't in Atlanta, so that's when the Olympics really changed. You saw the branding and the marketing really stepped up for Sydney, and then you saw it in Athens, and that whole branding changed in that era.
All right. Let's stay on the track for a while, and we'll do the track.
Yeah, let's get through. That might be easier because,
mate,
I'm getting lost trying to go from one to the other here anyway.
He's done so much. So you went 2000 Olympics, 2001, the National Track Championships. That's just Australia, is it? Or
Yeah.
So who do you ride with in that? Like Victorian? That's a Victorian-based team.
State.
Yeah, and he's come second in that. Were you the number one rider for Victoria then?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2002, you come first at a World Championship in the team pursuit. So this is your team that you're gearing up for the Olympics.
Yeah.
Same blokes. Who was your team?
Peter Dawson, Graham Brown, Luke Roberts, myself, and Steve Wooldridge.
Coach by now?
Ian McKenzie.
This is when
is the guy that
this is when we
turned
changed
it all
over.
around, yeah.
Yep. So what year do you reckon that was? After the Sydney
was just
Olympics?
after the Olympics,
Yeah,
you said.
So 2001 is when I had a break. So
That's right,
2002.
Okay.
They were in Copenhagen that year.
Yeah, okay.
Rightio. Now we're about to take off with the new coach.
New coach, he's wound them up with the big gears. So 2002, you won the World Championships. 2003, you won the World Championships again.
Yeah.
Same team. You rode in the Madison at the National Track Championships and come second.
Yep.
Who'd you ride that with?
Shane Kelly.
Shane Kelly.
Yes.
Really?
Believe it or not. Kilo rider.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Shane.
Yeah, okay. For those of you who don't know, Shane Kelly, can you just explain what he does and what he was about?
Shane was always my idol as well, and I ended up getting a shared a room with him before Sydney Olympics at altitude in Colorado Springs, etc., and become really good friends with him. But yeah, unfortunately, he's known for the guy that pulled his foot.
Yeah, that's right. When was that?
In Athens.
That was in Athens.
And he would have won that hands down.
Yeah.
Do
you remember him, Ben?
No.
His man was a unit.
Yeah.
The name rings a bell, but
it was a 1K time trial.
Yep.
Yeah. Where they have the fixed start.
Yep.
And then they just push off.
Yeah.
And in that he popped his foot.
Ripped it out.
Popped his foot and he rode it though, didn't he? Did he pulled out altogether?
No, I think
I can't remember.
They changed the rules that year, I'm pretty sure, where normally you'd get like one false start.
Yeah.
A bit like swimming now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're out. Done.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were clipped in but not strapped. Is that right?
Yeah, so we changed over and it was like, a strap pedal. And
Yeah.
you had like you'd slip your foot in there.
With the cleat in, and then you put the strap over.
But now, you've got the clipless pedals.
Yes.
But what they do now is use them and put a strap as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was he running them when he's...
Old school,
Did he break it?
No, I think
he
he was just
pulled it
like
out.
so
Pulled it out.
strong that
Yeah.
guy actually just ripped his foot out.
Wow.
I'll see if I can find it.
One hell of a strong man.
Oh, I've got no internet connection. Oh, how good am I going?
We're well prepared today.
But yeah, Shane. So you rode the Madison with Shane.
Yeah.
The Madison, for people who don't know, is how many laps do you ride or how many Ks?
Quite varies, it can be up to 30 kilometres, 30, 40 kilometres. And you sling them in, you take a lap out or a lap and a half and
you swap,
yeah. Quite an exciting event.
It's insane to watch.
Yeah. Australia's, done very well over the years. Won quite a few Olympic medals, starting with Scott McGorry and Brett Aiken.
Yep.
And then Graham Brown, Stuart O'Grady.
I love the excitement around anything that's Commonwealth and Olympic when it comes to our cyclists and our swimmers. And we can go on and on, but cycling's always been pretty strong Australian-wise, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
For a long time.
It has. When was it? 84 when the Team Pursuit won.
Yep.
Mick Turner and gang, that's when they come onto the scene then.
Yeah.
And all the Olympics after that. And I've had a couple of years that have been quite quiet. It's the nations, sort of, the British go strong, the Aussies, the Germans, and
True.
it just keeps going these generations. It seems that Australia's in the right path now. On the right path, yeah.
Well, yeah, we've got the...
So I just brought it up, the Shane Kelly. We're in Athens here. He's strapped in.
Oh, this...
Oh,
he
no,
didn't
this
pull
must
on
be
this
a
one.
time.
This,
Did they do time trials and that? So as in, did they have warm-up, like heats and stuff in these?
no,
or?
this is just all out. So they don't have this event anymore, unfortunately.
Oh,
It's one of my favourites. So
Yeah.
we'd go down at every World Championships, Olympic Games, and this was the first event.
Yep.
We'd go there and the house would light up, and it's a shame, they can that. They can the individual pursuit.
Why?
I don't know, and it blows my mind because swimming, you got every...
It's all individual.
Stays the same.
Backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle, all different events. So I think it could be something to do with they brought BMX in now.
They didn't bring any new events in, though, did they?
No.
They've only eliminated some.
Yeah, they brought in an event called the Omnium, which is a mixture of scratch race,
Okay.
Madison, time trial.
But as far as the schedule goes, it's not making the week any longer or shorter by taking these out. So
No, and as an athlete, this event is one of the most testing events I think you can do. Combines a little bit of endurance, with just pure fast twitch sprint.
Yep.
An amazing event, and just a real shame they canned it.
It's pretty hard to find these on
okay.
YouTube, these events. So
Well, you keep looking on YouTube. Where are we? We're at the national tracks where you rode with Shane, and then, mate, 2004, Athens. Good prep going in.
No, amazing. Everything went.
You knew. Sounds like you knew it too. Like you sound confident, and the team, everyone confident.
Yeah, the backbone of the team was Graham Brown, myself, Luke Roberts, and when we brought in Brad McGee, who was pursuing a pretty big road career at the time.
Yeah.
However, one of the best prologue riders, time trialist in the world.
Yep.
And he rode fourth position, which we call the diner's cart, the easiest. So we got the starter. Back then was a 3/4 lap.
Yep.
I always rode the hardest position, second wheel.
Yep.
Still is to this day.
Yep.
Third wheel, you got to be strong too, and fourth, you can start in a bit of bigger gear and diner's cart cruise along.
Yep.
We had Peter Dawson, super talented guy from Western Australia that rode the previous World Championships with us. He didn't ride the final, unfortunately, and Steve Waldridge rode the first two. So we had a super strong team.
Yep.
We were confident. Maybe now is a little bit different where if you look at the guys going really good now in the Commonwealth Games, it's a bit too much of a long circle to be peaking for the next sort of Olympics. So the Aussies are probably in a good spot, in my opinion, right now. They didn't win. They're still finding their feet.
Yeah.
So that's where we were, and we were confident.
Yeah.
We semi-final, we broke the world record. That was our record that we broke previously 2 years before that.
Yep.
And the funny thing was, this track that some people might not know, it was partially opened, a gap probably 5 metres. So the semi-final, we broke the world record, and it was a 3:56 or whatever it was. Anyway, and to keep the record, you said, you have to do a drug test. So like, well, it can take quite a bit of time to do it.
Okay.
So like, stuff it, let's do it. We did the drug test.
Yep.
And then the next night, luckily we did that, because the next night the wind blew up and we had to use different front wheel.
Yep.
The times were slower. We
Yep.
clipped the wheel in the final.
Yep.
Almost nearly went down.
Yeah.
So we were happy.
Changed everything.
But at the end of the day, it was a shame we didn't get to see what we could have done.
Yeah.
As a team, we could have gone a lot faster without the win. But anyway.
Oh, well.
Had got the gold medal in the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
So you rode for the gold medal race. You rode against Great Britain again. So, can I remember correctly and said you won it by nearly a second?
Yeah, or maybe more. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe more.
I found a news article today, which is a Tasmanian television, that this is you guys winning.
Any dark clouds still lingering over Australia.
This will bring back some memories for you. So.
With a gold medal performance in Athens. In what's been the best ever games for our cyclists, the 4,000
if everyone can hear this, but
I'll be able to hear it.
Yeah.
It can be rewarding being the parent of an Olympian, but when your son is riding for gold, the nerves take over. Brad McGee's mum and dad cheering from the stands.
So you can see the track here that
a few days ago she watched dad win silver. Now it was gold.
Australia remain the champions of the world.
Oh, they don't see what you actually won by.
Parents of our perfect pursuiters rushing trackside to congratulate our new kings of cycling. There's some nervous moments there, weren't there?
Oh no, I'm trying, I can't talk.
Graham Brown shared the moment with his #1 fans. This was stirring stuff.
This isn't me here. I'm no one. I'm just Australia. It's like national duty. Yeah, I mean, I'm a very emotional person, and I didn't hardly breathe during the race, but after it, that's when all the breathing was going. I could hardly breathe. Just emotions, and my fiance and parents couldn't make it here, and I was, just them back at home watching on TV, get ages.
Talia McGee now had her hands on.
There's a couple of things in this interview you'll hear in a sec that what Brett was talking about before. That a couple of guys miss out, and they interview them as well.
For Australian cycling's Fab Four, they've dominated this event for the past few years, but this is the one they so desperately wanted: Olympic gold.
How was that? Bit emotional there, bro. You lost it?
Yeah, it was. Of course, there was a lot to this. That's historic.
Yeah, we're going to go back and talk about this.
It was a terrible blow after so much hard work.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts to watch the guys go around the track like they did tonight, and also last night breaking the world record, which I did hold with the boys. It was a bit disappointing.
For the four that rode in the final against Great Britain, the celebrations continued outside, as our gold medalists were forced to ride back to the athletes' village after the team bus left without them. Nothing could spoil this golden moment.
For those listening, they missed the team bus.
I think we'd found a few beers by then anyway, so we're good to go.
So you mentioned before you changed something coming into this, didn't you?
Yeah, you probably saw then I was quite emotional.
Yeah.
So what I found as an athlete was distractions. They can affect people. And Sydney, I was looking up in the stand, and I worked with the psychologist, etc., and we sort of figured out that that was one of the things. And I made the decision, which wasn't the best decision for my family and my girlfriend, now wife at the time, that I didn't want anyone to come and watch me, just to be there. Big decision, but it worked. Because I can probably say that I was the strongest man in that team on that day.
Yeah, okay.
And I was on a mission
Focus.
and I won that gold, and I knew what I had to do.
Yeah.
And as you saw then,
Yeah.
it was a bit like, wow, I wish they were there then to share that moment, and they weren't. But looking back, I don't regret it. I did the right thing, and I have that gold medal at home still.
Yeah.
How did
Absolutely.
mum and dad and the wife take it? Or fiance back then? How did they take that?
Yeah, yeah, mum and dad. I mean, they were here. I think at the local footy grounds. Had a big do, and I think even one of the helicopters flew in that night to film them. And you know,
really? Yeah, okay.
Whoever was broadcasting it then.
Yeah,
yeah, they did actually.
I would have snuck up there and not told you I was there and watched anyway.
Yeah,
that's what I would have
done. Yeah, my wife, she was at home alone in Italy where we were living at the time.
Oh, really?
So, with some friends, but
yeah,
it was hard on her. But like I said, the decision I made.
Yeah, you did it for a reason.
Yeah,
yeah, and it paid off.
It did. So
so none of your family or anyone's been to a race since.
They don't go any more races. What was it like standing up there on the podium and you've got a gold medal? Like, was it just a big relief that, hang on, I've worked so hard for this and I actually get some good recognition out of it? Because no one can take that away from you now. Like that gold medal, where is it? Is that home?
Yeah, I got a safe locked under the. It's pretty well locked up.
That's good.
I had it in the bank for a few years.
Yeah,
and no one could see it. You know.
Yeah.
So we bought this safe and we got it stashed away pretty neatly. So yeah, that's good. But I think it was. You know, coming from this small town here, it was something that every single kid would dream of, but never thought would come true.
Yeah.
And up there, just lost it.
Yeah.
All the memories and how hard you work to get there, all the commitment.
Yeah.
All come out.
They're still young.
Yeah.
What were you then, 24?
24, yeah.
That's a lot. To make those decisions and have your own thought process and that, like, at that age is still young.
Yeah, I think I'd been through a lot up until that point, you know, living situations and decisions I'd made. And, you know, when I told you before, I took almost a year off. And it all, it hit me.
Yeah.
But I was quite mature at that age and as an athlete and knew what I wanted. I was very driven. And I worked so hard for that Olympics.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't leave any stone unturned, you know. Did everything right.
Yeah.
Did you let your hair down afterwards?
Yeah, a little bit. We didn't have too much time. I had to fly to London and do the tour of Britain 3 days after, but I made the most of it, you know, a couple of nights.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I actually, there was it was a funny time then. I think we went out with some rowers and what was the rowing chick that threw the Sally Robbins, wasn't it? Remember that?
Yeah.
Threw the oar. We went out with them and the guys and a couple of big nights, but it was good. And then back to work, back to my professional job. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Which we'll get into because it's it would be hard to mix both of these together, but obviously you were focused to. You didn't work as a professional job for track. Track was just purely for the Australia.
Yep.
That's right. You didn't get paid to do that at all.
Nothing.
So that's just off your own bat.
I think we got, I don't know, a little 10 or 20 grand or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Nothing like these stories you hear about Russian athletes getting $1 million or whatever it is. But,
okay.
But yeah, it's not about that, you know.
Yeah.
The Olympics aren't about that. You know, it's representing your country.
Yeah.
Doing your best for the country.
Yeah. You mentioned before, is it Brad McGee?
Yeah.
Is that, he's gone on to do huge things, hasn't he? Is that right? Or?
Yeah, Brad had a successful road career. He wore, I might be wrong, the leader's jersey in the 3 Grand Tours. Tour of Italy,
okay.
Tour de France, and the Vuelta España, Tour of Spain.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
He's Sydney.
Sydney boy.
Yeah. He lives in Barrel now.
Yeah, okay. Not like the little town of Shepparton where you come from, mate. All right, so 2004, was that it for the track? You thought, right, I'm going to just concentrate on my profession now?
Yeah, so that's what did happen.
Yeah.
I hadn't given road a real shot up until then. It's all been switching, so I said, done with that. I did ride the Beijing Olympics.
Oh, you went to 2008, yeah.
But didn't touch the track bike for a couple of years.
Yeah, okay.
So switched to road and went full on there. You know, it was a sort of, as a team pursuit rider, you carried a bit of beef, a bit of weight. So dropped a few kgs, got serious about my diet, a lot more road training, climbing, etc. Had concentrate on the road, and that paid off the following year, actually.
What's the difference between a track rider compared to a road rider? Is it just a weight thing, or it's like they're two different, obviously completely different, but a lot of them are, you've got to have a big engine still to do 4,000 metres flat out.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, back then it was more, you know, like it was more track or road, and you had to, you know, put on weight or be a bit more stronger. We had to lose your weight and be quite lean and trim to ride a Grand Tour, you know, like a 21-day stage race.
I can't fathom that.
Yeah.
That's 21 days.
You know what I can't work out? And we had this with, I'm going to go off track here, but we had this with Steve Fearless too. So how do you go from the flattest part of the country in Shep to being able to ride up hills?
Oh, look, I never really made it as a climber, mate. So
You still got to get up them though.
yeah, I got up there, man. Like I said, you just drop a few kilos and it makes a massive difference. And I moved to, I was based down in Tuscany. And had climbs everywhere.
You'd been overseas for quite a few years by then anyway, hadn't you?
So you just spend time in the hills and start climbing. But to be fair, you know, in Shepparton, when you're out, you know, right end of Ford Road, you're coming back in, if there's a block headwind, you put in the big gear, it's not the same, but it's similar, you know, pushing quite a lot of torque, which you do on climbs.
Yep.
And, you know, even when I was a young kid racing under 15, 16, I won the Mount Bullock Classic as a under 15. That was just the engine, I think. But
it's just, it intrigues me because I've had a bit to do with the downhill mountain biking in background. So like a lot of the kids that grow up in the mountain areas are just freaks. You know, it's a lot of kids that grow up in the flatter areas just can't quite get it because they didn't grow up with it. But that's why I try and translate it into road riding, and it's different.
Well, here you go then. To answer that question or put this into perspective, the guy that just won the Tour de France, Vingegaard, Jonas Vingegaard, he's from Denmark, and the highest hill hit there is we passed the second highest point in the Tour, a bridge. Yeah. So it's flat, and he won the Tour. So you know, it's doable if you got the engine and
Okay.
Wow.
Love it. Right.
How did you build the engine? And it's a big engine you've got. How did you build it? Like, you always had it to start with? Because, like, you obviously it's a natural thing. But how do you just build and build and build? How do you ride 21 days straight?
Yeah. I failed at my first attempt at the Giro, didn't finish it, but also I crashed 3 times in the first stage and scummed myself. I crashed another couple of times since then. So that was more, you know, just, you know, being fatigued and not sleeping, etc.
Yeah.
I was determined to get through that. My director actually stopped me. We were going up the climb in the middle of Italy near Viareggio region, and I was out the back, you know, all taped up and, you know, still blood coming out from previous days. And he's like, "You got to stop, man." I said, "No, I've got to finish the stage." So he pulled me out of that stage, didn't finish the first Giro. So it's just resilience. It's knowing your body. Look, it's to explain one of these Grand Tours. They are so hard. I still think cycling is one of the hardest sports in the world. I've seen guys from other sports try and take it up and go, it's hard.
Yeah.
You know, mentally, you know, when you're on the deck, you got to get up. You know, the travel afterwards, you know, the kilometres. There's so much to it. They're gladiators. You know, I just come from the Tour de France now, obviously, as a director role, and I'm blown away. I was thinking, was it this hard when I rode?
Yeah.
And then, it's something else.
How many Tour de France's did you ride in?
7.
7?
Yeah.
What was the best you'd done in the Tour de France?
As an individual, I never won a stage. We won the team time trial when it finished in Nice. And we still have the world record, let's say, for the fastest ever team pursuit in 2012. Yeah, 13 with the Green Edge team. Jerry Ryan backed, obviously.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, that was a highlight. I was predominantly a lead-out man. I figured that out quite early in my career. And I made a very long career of it and worked for some of the best sprinters in the world.
Yeah, okay. So explain what a lead-out man is.
So, basically you see these big crazy sprints on television.
Yep.
Come into the final kilometres. I'd start my turn, 800 to go, 700 depending on the field, how many men you had in front of you. You have a train and you have your main guy, your main sprinter behind you. I had Alessandro Patacchi and Torshoff, who we won the green jersey with in the tour. And you'd try to drop them off depending on the bends or if it's uphill, a bit of crosswind, normally around 200 metres to go. And you'd peel off and let them go.
Yeah, okay. So you were just a team man.
Yeah.
Just drag your blokes along with you.
Yeah, I won a few pro races of my own, sometimes in sprints, but I didn't have that massive top end.
Yeah.
I just lacked that little bit, but I could go for a long time.
Yeah.
Just below that, so that was perfect for a lead-out role. And, guys like Mark Renshaw, I don't know if you know him, same sort of role with Cavendish, these really good guys. He tried to actually do it on his own. Went to Rabobank one year, I think it was, and tried to be a sprinter. Didn't win anything. He's actually getting better places as the lead-out man. Yeah. Maybe it's the pressure.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a path I went down, and it worked out well.
Yeah, okay.
It intrigues me watching it's so hard to understand. You got to watch it. If you don't race, obviously, like we're on the other side of the fence here. But I've sat up many nights watching the Tour de France and still going, why is he going there and who's doing that, and trying to work out the team thing. And then you've got this bunch of guys on a team who get one bloke to the finish. Makes no sense for people like me.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it, but yeah.
I'm not even going to try and explain it tonight.
No.
Well, I suppose that as a professional athlete, you want to be number one. That's what you strive to be. But a lot of the bike riders, they have a number one in their team, and that's the one they want to get over the line.
Exactly.
So it's still a team sport as such, but you don't
100%.
get the. I suppose you don't
get up on the step. Yeah,
you don't get on the podium like you did in the Olympics and stuff like that because your number one man's there as such. So
you still get the same feeling though when your guy does.
Yeah, when you deliver them in the right spot.
Yeah,
and you see them put their hands up. It's a pretty nice feeling.
Yeah, because you're basically the best at what you did then.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, these guys, I've tried to sprint against myself in training, and they are better.
Yeah.
So you got to realise
you pick your place.
Yeah, and when that fits.
Yeah,
and you're part of that win.
Yeah,
and they come to you afterwards, give you a hug, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah,
and it is a team sport.
They're not like it's different when you watch it on TV. You don't get that feeling. That's why I'm trying to get it now. Like you see them stand on the step, but you don't get to see them go back to the team.
Yeah,
like it appears sometimes like they're just arrogant. They've won the thing and they move on, but they're not.
No, they're not. And, as a team this year with Ineos, we won the team's classification. And, the guys got up there with the kids and everything on the Champs-Élysées in Paris. And it's pretty special, to see them up there as a team together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. This is all the stuff you don't get when you watch it on TV.
Get to see it, yeah.
And we only get to watch it on TV, so...
Yeah.
Oh, I was over there, wasn't I? No, I wasn't. All right, before we get too deep into the road, Season 2 of Two Blokes from Down Under is brought to us by Ken Muston Automotive. For all your motoring needs, pop down and see the team. For Isuzu Ute, Ram Trucks, MG, Jeep, Subaru and Mercedes-Benz. It's Ken Muston Automotive, 215 Benalla Road, Shepparton. And this episode's brought to you by Extons of Benalla, proudly family-owned and operated since 1952. Extons are your one-stop for all your earthworks, bulk haulage and equipment sales. You can find them at 85 Gilly Street, Benalla, or jump onto their website at extons.com.au. So let's dive right into the road career because... at some point, it's like you had a better road career than you had a track career. But the track career, you got the accolades, I suppose. You got the gold medal and the world champions and stuff like that. But I suppose the difference there is you're not getting paid.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've got a wife over there now with you and family on the way, sort of thing. So need to put food on the table. So when did you actually turn pro? Did you say that before, or?
It's quite vague when you turn pro. It's like with a Cat 3 team, 2002. I Team Nova, it was called.
Yeah.
But, they sort of started to fold. But it was the following year, 2003, with Panaria, an Italian team, signed the first 3-year contract. And, I kind of signed a too long contract. I wanted to get out of it. But anyway, it's another story. But stuck with them for 4 years, and I think in the last 2 years with them, I was pretty successful, especially the year after Olympics, 2005, when I won the opening prologue of the Giro d'Italia and wore the pink jersey.
Yep.
That was a turning point in my road career, and then I was, leading out very well.
Yep.
Very strong through that race, and had a lot of interest after that. Unfortunately, I still was under contract and tried to get out of it and break it.
Yep.
And I planned to have a better year that next year, and broke my collarbone early on in the season and didn't get the race where I was a very bad crash.
Okay.
So I was getting quite nervous, but then a lot of teams called and ended up signing a good, nice contract with a big team finally after that.
Okay. So you said you won in 2005 after the Olympics. You were first in the prologue. Prologue is a individual or team? Individual, and that's a time trial. Is that right? Or
prologue is anything under. Oh, get this right. I should know. About 6K, let's say.
Yeah.
Anything over that's called a time trial. So it's a prologue is under that, and it has to be an opening stage.
Yeah.
Normally in a big town or city.
Why do they do that?
It's a spectacle.
Yeah.
The one I won was very particular, really particular. They've never had anything like it, I don't think, in the history of cycling.
Okay.
It was in Reggio Calabria, the south of Italy. They call it the most beautiful strip of, they claim it, of beachfront or strip of what's the word? Anyway, in all of Europe or the world, the Italians claim that.
Yeah,
or they do down there. Yeah. It was 1.12 kilometres long, very short, in a straight line, and it was dark at night time. So,
really,
wow!
I put my track training and background into play and pulled off the win.
Yep.
You won it easy or just?
It was like points of second.
Yeah,
because it's so short. You got to think.
It
was under a second. The next guy. So I put on the pink jersey, and I think as a road career, that was the biggest thing I've done.
Is the pink jersey as good as winning a gold medal?
No.
I mean, it's just another highlight.
Olympic gold medal's the pinnacle, I think, in any sport.
Yeah, okay.
If I was a climber or talented enough to win the Tour de France, might be a different story, but I wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't, yeah.
For me, the gold medal was the pinnacle, but on the road, that was pretty special. And
yeah, I
was riding for an Italian team that had been around for around 25 years then, and never had the pink jersey within the team, so it was pretty special.
Yeah,
in Italy, Italian team, and
nice.
Yeah,
and then you had to back that up, and you rode how long did you ride for then? Another 20 days.
Another 20 days, and I only held the jersey for one more day. I got chopped in one of the corners and nearly come to a standstill. So would have been nice to hang on to it for a little bit longer, but that's cycling.
That's cycling. Mm. How do you prepare yourself for 21 days of riding? It's so extreme every day. Like
I said before, I think I didn't finish my first one, and I didn't know what I was in for. The fatigue, it's amazing. It's incredible. And then you get a bit better. You learn about diet, nutrition. Back then, we didn't in the teams and didn't have nutritionalists.
Yeah.
But I'd learn a lot from the AIS. But it was putting it in play. It's a build up. It's making sure your body's fine tuned. So I learnt a lot myself about that. And we actually had pretty shit food products back then, let's say.
Yeah.
And what I know now from diet and nutrition, that's why cycling's changed a lot. They do a lot more in that respect. I think, I learned a lot about my body, but it's a lot of it's mental. The Giro, you have the elements as well. You go up to Dolomites in the north of Italy, and you have snow. You start in the south at 30-something degrees, and when you're up 15 days in, you're doing these climbs, 15% at 10K, Mont Saint Calan and stuff like this. And, you're pretty fatigued and cold, and it's pretty extreme.
Yeah.
The tour generally, it's hot in July in France, a bit better weather, but the Giro for me is way more extreme than the tour.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Most people would know the Tour de France as the biggest in the world. How was the vitamins and stuff back then? Because obviously it's well known with old Lancey boy. But like you would have had a crew with you who just a support team and stuff, and here, have this, take this, have that, or do you made your own decisions on that, or
not really with the small team I was in.
Okay.
We had a doctor, but he's taping you up and stuff at night. He'd give you a pill box with all your vitamins in it, and if you had a crash or whatever, you get some painkiller and a sleeping tablet.
okay.
I do remember in the Tour de France one year I crashed in the Pyrenees around stage 15 with 5 stages to go. 80k an hour, flipped over the handlebars, landed on my back, scummed myself. So it's like, I don't like to take sleeping tablets, but you take them just to sleep.
Well, you had to. Yeah. Otherwise you wouldn't.
So you're actually like a zombie on the bike for the last 5 days.
Oh, really?
But the tour is quite unique because it's a race where if it's any other race, you probably pull out.
Yeah.
You're like, no, you've hurt yourself. You go home. But the tour, you've got to get to Paris,
Yeah. How many tours did you do? Did you say 7?
Yeah.
And you finished them all?
No.
How many did you finish?
4. Crashed quite a few times. One was started in London. We had a prologue opener there. The very next stage, knocked off and hit a centre island, hit my hip. And I was quite fatigued in one leg, and I had no power I kept riding another week, and then I figured out that I had to have a hip operation in the end. So,
did it proper.
Yeah.
Didn't hit any spectators along your travels over all these years?
With my elbow in the nose, yeah.
Didn't take you out though, which sounds better.
That sounds dodgy. So let me explain. So Alpe d'Huez, if you know Alpe d'Huez, it's a climb where you've got all these spectators, and you've got a thing called the Dutch corner.
Yeah.
And it's a whole heap of pissed up Dutch people in their orange, flares. And this one year we did it twice, which is the only time it's done it twice in the history of the sport, I think. And by the time we get there the second time, they're pretty drunk. And I was in the back group being a big guy trying to just finish within the time limit, let's say. This guy started pouring a beer on me. And I'm like, stop it. No. So
you give him a backhander.
Backhander.
With the elbow.
Got him right in the nose and dropped him.
Nice. Was it last year or this year, the chick that got out on the road and took out a bunch of people?
Oh yeah, with the sign.
Yeah.
It's
it freaks me out every year watching it. I'm like close, and I think, man, that's a lot of time, effort, and how many days in. It's your career, it's everything, and some peanut stands on the road.
Yeah, look, it's more dangerous than what you see as well.
Yeah.
There was one year there, the breakaway was quite a short distance, 40 seconds in between, and you got the police motorbox, the gendarmerie, the French police. They shoot past in between, and an old lady passed in between, cleaned her up. She died.
Well,
yeah, we saw some motorbikes hit some old spectators this year, and I see it from another side now, driving.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
I can't explain how insane it is. I've done defensive driving courses.
Yeah.
I've done, at the Ford Proving Ground, we've spun cars at 180 and everything. But when you're in the tour and they've got crowds there and everyone's driving like this, you've got bike riders.
Yeah.
It's insane. I finished that race this year, first time I've driven it.
Yeah.
Probably as stuffed as...
Yeah, exhausted.
Exhausted, mate.
Yeah.
You can't switch off for a second.
Yeah.
Did you know there's team cars crashing in the back of each other and riding cars off and all sorts of stuff.
Was it in your mind when you were riding? Like just all that going on around you with the safety, or, you know, because you didn't want to be obviously cleaned up and out of the race either. You just on the wheel and...
Yeah, not like that. And you didn't get to take in as much the scenery or whatever.
Yeah.
You're concentrating on the race. It's insane racing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
there's some big speeds and some close calls all the time.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's so dangerous.
It's just, I'm on the edge of the seat watching it though, like till all hours of the morning. Oh, that was there. I can't even imagine being there. Like,
how many riders in the Tour de France?
It used to be 9 riders, not teams of 9 riders, and 22 teams, and they reduced it down to 8 riders because too many, a bit of a safety.
Yeah, okay.
And to try and make it more interesting, because like back to that Lance era, they were so dominant and they had like all these Lance and another 8 guys juiced up to the eyeballs, just dominated. Which was the truth, you know. If you, that's what was happening. So, it's changed a little bit, the sport. But in saying that, this year was the fastest average speed ever. The equipment and bikes have changed a lot over the last 10 years. Aerodynamics, they're super fast now, the bikes, you know.
Yeah. So, conditions vary each year too, don't they?
Yeah.
How is like obviously you just mentioned Lance and the drug scene. How much is it over there? Like, is it out of it, or it'll never be out of it because they just continually push the limits? Or back then, was it just common for everyone, or not everyone? I shouldn't say everyone, but
yeah, I think I do know the 90s were rife. They were crazy, and then at Lance era, late 90s, early 2000s. I started probably when Lance was finishing. Then he made a comeback, and I rode the tour that year when he was there.
Yeah.
It's cleaned up a lot. I'd put my hand on the fire and say it's, look, in anything in life, I think you're going to have people that will take shortcuts.
Yeah.
Cheat. If you look at the stock market, you get inside traders. You know, it's like that. That's the way I look at it. And you'll probably have some athletes, Eastern Bloc, I shouldn't say Eastern Bloc, I mean like certain athletes that will maybe want to try and make it, If not, you're working in a bloody factory.
Yeah.
That's the way. But I would 100% say now is changed a lot and cleaner.
It's a lot cleaner now. Yeah. I mean, it's not just cycling. We better say that.
It's better testing.
It's you're talking swimmers. They all had all had drugs and stuff not to say drugs, but they had things to enhance and try and get them to be the best they could possibly be. So.
Yeah, the 80s and 90s were a lot different than now, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I'd probably put that down, I'd say, a lot to the amount of money that goes in and sponsors and everything too, that like the team management and all the rest of it can't afford for things like that to happen too. You'd think there'd be a greater watch on it.
Yeah, if we had a positive for anything like, say, what they had back in the day, EPO or something, we'd be done.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So the sponsor would be like, walk away.
And same as a rider then too. Like, you can't afford to do it anymore because it's your livelihood and stuff.
Well, now you go to jail.
Seriously?
Yeah. Fraud.
For
in not all countries, but a lot of European countries now.
What they call doping.
Yep. Because you'll make a financial gain, and the financial gain is fraud.
Yeah.
Guy Stefan Danefeld, I used to race with him in a team called Cervelo, test team you probably see there. I used to race for them. Good guy, whatever, Austrian. Probably 3-4 years ago, he got involved in there was some skiers involved and a few other sports. He got done for it. I think he just got out of jail now, maybe. He did maybe a year and a half in the lockup. So it's a big risk,
Yeah. So Lance and his team should be doing life then. So look, the amount they cheated. So it's what's your thoughts on Lance Armstrong? Obviously, yes, he was doping, but he still won 7. Like, what's your thoughts there?
I think I didn't really race against him, so. If you're a guy that was clean and he flogged you, he'd be pissed,
Yeah.
I don't know. He's still hanging around the sport a bit. It's a bit like he's trying to make a living still. And I've listened to a few of his pods. It's pretty good, some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
I'll give him that.
He was a competitive beast, wasn't he?
He's still to this day. If you see how he talks and everything, he hasn't changed that much. I never knew the guy. It's kind of like, I don't know, just maybe let the sport go. Just get away, to be honest.
Because he's always going to be tarnished in it, so he's never going to get away from that now. So.
Yeah.
Who was the best Aussie rider that you ever rode with in the road?
Oh, Cadell Evans.
Did you ride with him?
Not in a... Won World Championships in Madrid, I did, in the Australian team. But as a competitor, another team. But Cadell, I think he's a great guy, great ambassador for the sport.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just genuine to me. Like maybe a lot of other people might not say the same, but I think Cadell's great, and what an athlete he was.
Yeah.
To win the tour.
Freak,
yeah.
Yeah.
What's he doing now?
He's involved with the bike company BMC a bit. He's sort of half in Switzerland, half over here.
Okay.
Lives in Barwon Heads, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you go past his house there, he's got this big yellow door.
Oh, has he?
Yeah, can't miss it.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to have a look next time I'm down there. So, yeah, okay. So, we go back a little bit. 2006... 2007, obviously you got some decent placings there. In 2007, you're third in a team time trial. I don't know how to pronounce that. So is that Eindhoven or?
Oh, Eindhoven.
Yeah,
in the Netherlands. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So. How much of the team time trial stuff did you do? Did you compete in them for every tour?
They're not like every tour. They're every 2 years, sometimes 3 years. I think like those years there, I was doing my lead out stuff, so you won't see actual results on paper.
Yeah, okay.
But personally, what I achieved as a lead out man was some of the best years of my career.
Yeah.
My parents come over 2007 to watch me in the Giro. The last stage in Milan, did a mega lead out, and we won the stage, and then Dad still talks about that because you're going so fast, So on a personal level, without looking on paper, they were some of the best years of my life, like leading out there.
It's a shame that it doesn't end up on paper in some way.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Like it's you don't get the accolades for it, but I suppose personally, again, you're trying to provide for the family, and
it's that, and it's financial, because other teams go, I want you, I've got a bigger contract, and
Yeah, okay.
What do you think the turning point was in that road career? When you said you turned it around, you knew that you were, super competitive, and what do you think changed?
I tried a few things in my career. It was 2005. I'd lost a lot of weight, got down to 75 kg, tried to do the climbing thing.
Yep.
I was thereabouts, like almost sort of a front group, but didn't have it when the real skinny
clinch
guys just went,
Yeah.
But I gave it a go.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to do that. Then I went back to leading out.
Yeah. Was there something you did different, though, apart from just losing a few kilos?
A lot more climbing, diet, altitude camps.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of altitude. I did a lot of altitude over the years.
Yep. Felt it made a huge difference.
It did.
Yeah.
The biggest, when I got it right, 2010 after Paris-Roubaix, obviously the cobblestone race, packed up the family. We went to New York for a few days or a week on holidays. We went to Boulder. I rented a ranch up there in Colorado, and were there for 5 weeks and really nailed the training.
Yep.
And that's when that year I was really on it. Figured out the way things really worked with my body, and they were some of the best years of my life.
Wow.
Well, career, sorry.
How much do you think mental comes into that? Or you think it's really just about getting your body right with that training?
That was a real family life balance thing that I had going on, because the family was with us.
Yep.
With me. Luca was 2.
Yep.
And Ava was 3 or 4. I was training every day, then hanging out with the family, Went to Tour of California after that, and I think I won the second stage and took the yellow jersey, and yeah, it was just
A bit more relaxed, maybe?
yeah, relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd done the altitude camps with Charlie Walsh. As we mentioned previously, we'd go there in February for 5 weeks straight, and it was like a concentration
Yes.
camp. I knew I finished. He wouldn't let us eat, and I was come out like a skeleton. I was creeping, going backwards. So
Yeah.
it's knowing yourself
Yeah.
at all those experiences and putting it together properly.
Yep.
There's you mentioned before the family. It must be hard to get that balance right, because it's like the wife's been with you, girlfriend, fiance, wife has been with you a lot of the time now. So how did you get that balance right? Like, 'cause when you were based in Spain, is that right?
Just now we've moved. Well, the family's relocated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're in Italy.
We were in Italy for
Yeah.
8 years. We were in Belgium 1 year, Italy 8 years, and 11 years in Spain.
So how did you go from, like, you'd be based in Italy, but then you'd be on the plane, or you'd be go somewhere, like the wife would stay in Italy, so you wouldn't get to see her for, what, a month, 2 months?
Yeah, I think the longest was probably 2 months.
Yeah, okay.
Quite epic. But, you know, like, full credit to my wife. She was never what you call a soccer wife or a cycling wife. Didn't sit at home and do nothing. She did a university degree in marketing with the University of Southern Queensland online in that time. Had 3 kids and worked jobs, you know, from teaching English to her latest job, you know, worked for a massive small goods company, export manager around the world, you know, travelling as well.
Really?
Yeah, and learning, you know, a few languages herself.
That's unreal.
So,
So she hasn't had a boring life either.
no, far from it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you know, she's like, right, we're going back to Shep.
Yeah. Fair
How
enough.
how did the kids go overseas, or did they just knew no different? That's what Dad does. He's a rider. We're gonna, we'll get to school age, and that's what we do.
Yeah, look, my kids have had this amazing life. We're back here now, but, you know, my first child was born in Shepparton, second was born in Italy, and third in Spain. You know, it's
That's
insane
unreal.
when you think of it. They speak, you know, trilingual, like fluent in 3 languages, the eldest 2, and then know a couple of languages pretty well. We've given this life experience that, you know, money cannot buy.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't regret anything.
No.
And they've had an amazing life. At the same time, it was time to come home.
Yeah, yeah. I can't imagine what you've been through there. Like, even to leave, I couldn't go 2 nights without seeing my kids, sort of thing. Let alone, you know, that. Or I suppose you didn't have FaceTime back then, or you did have, or you didn't. Didn't. So that would have been hard. Like, you know, my kids are 14 now, but you know, I couldn't imagine going 2 months without seeing them, sort of thing. So, or without FaceTime. I suppose when they're young, you'd get on the phone, but what are the that's all you sort of got. But that must have been hard.
Yeah, my oldest is 15, and Luca is 14. Youngest is 7. I think it was like that from day one. You know, when they got around 2 or 3, it got hard. When I'd be leaving, they'd wait at the door and, I miss you, you know, and then you're like, oh, shit, you know, it was pretty tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was tough.
Kids are resilient.
And then they get to a certain age when they're older.
Yeah.
They just understand what it is.
Yeah.
I'm leaving again this Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm going back to Europe for 3 weeks to do some more races, and, you know, the oldest, they'll understand.
Yeah.
The youngest 7 should be pretty upset.
Yeah.
Is what it is. You got to make a living still, don't you?
Got to make $1, mate.
Yeah. What's it like when you got your first contract in the team, like money-wise? Is it good money? You don't have to tell us what it was, but, like, is it good money, or is it? How do you compare it? Do you compare it against, like, an AFL team, like a footballer, or?
Oh, when I first went pro, it wasn't good money. Not at all. Yeah, you know, no. And then become quite good later on when I made a name for myself and had some good contracts. But saying that now, if I had if I had the talent now in this era, the way the kids are getting their first contract, they call them kids, it's amazing some of the contracts these guys are signing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking upwards of €300,000 for their first contract.
Yeah.
So if you're talented, so that's what, 420,000 Australian.
It's pretty good money, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good. If you're good now, you get noticed. You get a manager. But you know, I heard you do an interview there with Steve. That was another era again. You know, that's getting your ass over there and doing everything yourself. That was real hard knocks. I did that sort of the first year, but then my first contract, you could live. It was Ali and myself supporting us. Small apartment, but we could still go out to a restaurant or whatever. But it wasn't much beyond that. It wasn't saving a whole lot until you know, you get noticed. And
the team would pay for all your flights and everything like that?
Yeah, so it's like any job, I guess. When you leave, well, if you're employed, you leave your house.
Yeah.
As soon as you leave your house, you're under your team then.
Yeah, okay. Must have been hard. Must have been tough for you. But I suppose you're doing what you love. And I suppose, you know, cycling was your job.
Yeah.
But there's so much to it mentally and physical and...
Yeah, there's a lot of good times and bad times, you know. Breaking bones and being in a hospital in north of France somewhere you don't know the language and you know, they're deciding what to do with your collarbone because it's smashed in 6 pieces. And
so what do you do there?
Of course, we've got insurance.
Yeah.
Like legally, you have to have it through the UCI and you're covered. But, you know, it's the unknowns. And it's not like here at the hospital and you go, well, what are you going to do, mate, to the doc? You know,
that's right.
Whack a plate in, put some screws. You know. They speak another language, but, you know, they speak English most of the time, broken English.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's been some dark moments and you're stuck there alone in hospital for 10 days or, you know, it's not all glory all the time.
What's the worst injury you've had?
Yeah, I think it was just collarbone. I was hit from behind in a sprint at 70k an hour up over the bars. Broke that, had a hole in here and like skin off everywhere. There was that and there's been many. One you guys will probably laugh at. I was in Mexico as an 18-year-old. We're in the 5th week and it was like the hard man challenge. It was down to myself and Baden Cook, who's a Ballarat boy, and the rest had been sick, had a day off, and we're down to this last few days, and Baden and I are going to get through the training as hard Victorians, you know, get through this camp. Come scooting around this one corner, this cow runs out, bang into this cow.
Really?
Dislocated shoulder in a Mexican dirty gutter, you know.
Oh,
wowzers.
Aussie doctor took me to the hospital. We went in there and had one look around. He said, "No, mate, let's go back to the hotel. I'll fix you up." And we flew back to Oz and fixed my shoulder there. But,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine that. What's it like taking skin off at 60k an hour, 70k an hour?
What do you reckon it might be?
If you want to go jump in your car and just jump out the door at 60 and see how it feels.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine it. I've never rode that fast in my life, so I wouldn't have a clue. But it's not. You don't just do it once. Like this is.
It's like being on fire
multiple times to you.
Yeah, it's insane. It's like being in your underwear, like naked.
Yeah,
basically, you know, you got no protection, and you step off your bike at 60.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you get used to it, or you don't? Like, do you?
No.
You've mentioned that you've come off a fair bit. Does that part of your body harden up a bit, or it doesn't? No.
It hurts, and then you get older, it hurts more. You know, towards the end of your career, when you're getting towards retirement and you're breaking bones, and you're like, you know, that was probably one of the reasons why I sort of started to think, I'm done with this sport.
Yeah, okay, because of the crashes and that.
Yeah, it's that, and I think you lose that, not instinct, but that young testosterone, fearless young athlete where, there's a gap, not a gap, I'm taking it. You start thinking, I've got 3 kids, a wife. Yeah. I'll take this option, and you might not get to the front, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's like anything in life, isn't it? You make some stupid decisions. They're young bloke, and you mature as an adult, hopefully. And
you know the turning point.
Yeah,
every man I know knows the turning point.
Yeah. Well, we spoke to someone not long ago.
So many different ages for different reasons.
Yeah.
You just don't want to take that risk because of the outcome.
And you see that with a lot of these cyclists now. You know, they get older, they still win, but not as much. And they're not taking the risks.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So what do they say? No risk, no reward.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I suppose when your body's on the line and you can't recover as good as you could, and guess what? It's all about money, isn't it?
Yeah, and you do recover, much better as a young bloke when you break bones. Look at Chris Froome. He had that horrific accident a few years ago. It's taken to now to he was third in a stage in the Tour this year. He would never be the same. But then you look at Egan Bernal, our GC rider, who had a similar accident. He's bounced back and he's going to be racing, soon in the next couple of weeks, which has taken all year. But you're talking accidents where ourselves now would probably not even nearly walk again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff that.
The career's honestly that long.
Well, we could go forever.
I want to talk about where you are now, mate. Like, what you decide to retire? How did that go?
Tough.
Yeah. How long did it take you to really decide?
I wanted to continue with Green Edge and had a hard meeting with Shane Bannon. Yeah, it was in Andorra, and I was looking to do another year. I sort of had another team on the go that didn't want to go to. Could have been an option, and Shane told me the news that they wouldn't continue.
Okay.
Which is tough, really tough at the time. And I didn't want to ride for this other team. So, yeah, and I asked then about becoming a sports director. And anyway, the story is that I was at Richie Port's wedding, one of the riders with Sky then, and I met the head coach who was Australian and someone else, and they were looking for another director.
Yep.
And, all my Christmases had come at once.
Yep.
I was like,
jump on that.
Really? So I put my resume in and had a chat, CV, And I went to one of the training camps as a trial, and they said, you've got the job. So it was pretty fast. And you're talking Team Sky at the time.
Yeah.
Winning multiple Tour de France.
Massive.
And I'd signed as a sports director there.
Probably shit yourself more about that than you did riding, did you?
I did. I've heard about Sir Dave Brailsford, our boss.
Yeah.
And I was nervous and, like, how am I going to do this with the other guys? And it was really good. He's like, just be yourself, Brett.
Yeah.
And,
that's why they wanted you.
Yeah, and I've tried to live up to that sense, that advice ever since. And I think it's for everyone, isn't it?
Well, you're bringing your experience, aren't you?
Exactly.
So explain what a director does and how many people are in this makeup of a team.
Oh, we've got 120 odd people in our organisation.
120?
Yeah.
To get 8 riders onto a tour.
And we have 31 riders total.
Okay.
So we can be running triple programs all around Europe or the world at the same time.
Yeah, okay.
So coming up, my next race I'll go to Denmark.
There's different categories and stuff.
Same category, all professional.
Right, okay.
But, different countries put on different races at the same time.
Okay, yep.
So then you need, at every race, you need your masseurs. We call them carers to rub the legs and do all the other bits and bobs. We've got kitchen trucks. We've got a chef and nutritionist at every race.
Yep.
So we've got this nice fancy truck or 2 trucks pull up and extends the dining room. And the chef's in there and cooks. Then you got, other trucks, the mechanics truck, same sort of thing, extends out, big setup. Tour de France, you have a service truck as well, that washing machines and etc. You have the bus, 4 race cars and then multiple other vehicles. It's a moving circus. So on the tour you have we try and limit it to like 30 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's max. If not, it gets pretty messy.
Yeah.
But these other races, you've got a little bit of a smaller setup where I'll be managing 20 people on the road. You do the logistics, the daily plans. I do the bus presentation, like your keynote, stand up there and do the tactics, tell the guys what to do, what not to do.
Yep.
You're the psychologist to them half the time. You go around and talk to them, and sometimes it gets a bit personal and, grandma might be sick or whatever, and pat on the back. But we do have psychologists.
Yeah.
Or psychologists in the team if they need that as well.
Yeah.
You're organising the staff. It's a pretty big job.
Big
on the
job.
Road. And before that, you've got the performance plans. Make sure that fits with the way the sponsor wants to go, the individual, which can get quite tricky if we got 2 guys trying to do the same, want to have the same role or both want to win.
Yep.
Did a lot of management and flights, etc. I mean, I'm not booking flights myself. We've got
Yep.
logistic people, but you're trying to
Yep.
coordinate everything together.
So how many years you been doing that now?
This is my 7th year. Yeah.
It's getting easier?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just purely because of experience?
I think
Yep.
the big one is when you first get up there. When I first got up there, in front of in the bus, you got your screen, you prepare your keynote, and you got I had Chris Froome sitting there, the Tour de France winner.
Yeah.
And I was, mate,
So
shaking.
I've got to tell this bloke something good.
And I was like jumping around my slides a bit, and went back on myself a few times.
Yeah.
I think everyone would do it.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't Chris.
100%.
And, my boss then, Rod, he was brilliant. He come around to the back of the bus after and gave me some tips, which were absolutely amazing. And I thought this guy was hard on me at the start, but he's just one of the best. And But now, I prepare obviously a little bit different, and I can get up there now and, be very comfortable.
Yeah.
But it's all about prep. If you've done the right prep, do everything right before the race, then it should be easy after.
Yeah. How much do you love it?
I enjoy it. Yeah. It's a good job, and I love working with young athletes and seeing them succeed, to bring them up from when they first turn pro to possibly winning the Tour or other big races.
How do you get to do that? Like, where do you get the young talent from? Is it like AFL where you scout them out to start with and then bring them into your team? And is it something like that, or?
Yeah, good question. Some teams have development under 23 teams where they bring them up quite young and sign them young and take a chance. We're going pretty young now with some of our riders. We signed an 18-year-old a few days ago, which seems to be getting really young now, the sport changing. As you saw, the Tour de France was won by Taddy, a couple of, last two tours, and you're second there, and as one as a 20-year-old or 21. So it's sports shifting, because normally it was late 20s you're winning the Tour. So the signings now are quite young. We scout them in a different way. We have also paid a lot of money for young talent at the time because we had the budget.
Yeah.
And it's a lot manager driven now. The manager go to, not me, my boss who signs them, and says, we've got this young guy and there's a bit of trading going on and we'll give him and a bit of this,
like a draft.
It's not like football or soccer where there's that sort of money involved, or trading money, or a little bit, but it's quite interesting. And if you want a development team, it's a big hit on your budget too. You put another 3-4 million euros on top of your budget to run one of those teams.
What's your budget for the year?
Around £40 million.
£40 million.
Yeah.
In Australian dollars, that would be
70, I think. 65.
Yeah, okay.
Does this come mostly from sponsors, yeah? Or you got some private... you don't need to divulge things that you don't want to... I'm just curious how this works.
Yeah, we've got one sponsor. And obviously, we've got a bike sponsor who put in quite a few million a year. Ineos, if you look them up, they're a massive company. It's owned by Jim Radcliffe, privately owned. He's Britain's richest man. So they're huge. You're talking, I don't know what the profit is a year, in the billions. So he's getting into sport. And he likes cycling, so he's the main of All Blacks now. He's got Nice football team, Lausanne, the sailing team that did America's Cup. I've missed something here. A few other things. Formula One. He's a Mercedes sponsor. He wants to take that over.
I love this.
Yeah, and he's currently looking at purchasing one of the biggest football teams in the world. He tried to buy Chelsea recently.
Wow.
So that's in the pipeline. So I think when you get to this so rich, you can own properties, cars, and whatever. But what floats your boat? And get some football team or some sport you can get into. And
does it mean for you guys it's a lot less pressure?
No, this guy is still on it, man. He's still wants it run properly. He wants the reports. He wants the budget. He's not. He's not
throwing it away. But
any of his businesses are run like that. You have to do quarterly reports to him, etc.
How do you get the return? Like obviously the races, they pay the return, or
so Ineos I didn't know who they were when we first signed for them, and now I think once the company become more known, which they are already, through involvement in sport.
Yep.
So I think that's what he wants for his company.
Yeah, okay.
And the Tour de France gets biggest annual sporting event in the world, and you get good return on that.
Yeah.
And the figures have shown with other smaller sponsors that come in and sponsor these teams, like Jumbo Visma, who just won the Tour. That company's growing a lot.
Taking off.
Yeah.
Wowzers. Is it daunting running 120 people, or?
Well, that's not really me. I'm sort of running on the road, so I'll run. It might be 20 people, or 25, including the riders.
Yeah.
So at the start was, but now
it's just an everyday
crack
thing.
on with it.
Yeah, okay.
Just make sure you're a good leader,
Yeah.
And the main thing is being a good listener, isn't it?
Well, it is, yeah. It's like running your own little business as such inside a big business, I suppose. So did you do any work on leadership and stuff like that, or is it just come natural to you? Or?
Oh, yeah, we've had people come in. We do camps every year. And we did some work with a company last year called T2, which is really good. You learn about everyone as numbers, and you do a survey, and I was a 8-2, which I need a bit of love, like a bit of feedback, So if you're an outgoing person, and if someone's angry for a certain reason, you're like, he's like that because of this. Let him go. Where in the past, I'm like, oh, you dickhead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And we do a lot of these little workshops and everything, and they work,
Yeah. You can manage people if you know them.
Yep, exactly.
It's the people who just have that black and white approach that
he might have
it's their way, no one else's way. It doesn't work.
Yeah, he might have OCD or whatever, Okay, let's manage that. So,
What's the best success you've had with the team so far as a manager?
Oh, I don't know. We had some success with Egan Bernal, who went on to win the Tour, on Tour of California with him, which was amazing.
Yep.
My, let's say, home race, a big World Tour race, we finished first, second and third on the podium, which was the first time that's been done ever in that race, was last year.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah, nice.
Obviously wins in the Giro or in the Tour this year was good to be involved with.
Yep.
On a personal level, that development stage with riders is quite exciting.
Yeah. I like it.
Wowzers. So the career's obviously taken off. You've come back to Shep. Do you still ride your bike? Not as much as you used to, but
no. Look, I like to. The thing is, so let's go back to October last year. It goes in seasons. As the European winter, we're not racing.
Yeah.
So I do a lot more exercise. So it's a bit like this, and I do by February, March again. I get quite fit, and then you get on the road, and I can basically just go for a bit of a run every morning, a bit of a jog.
Yeah.
You can take your bike, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do enjoy it. Now my boy's taking it up. I've got to get my act together and.
That was my next question. Do you ride with him?
Yeah, I was doing a lot in Spain with him January, February, because I was a little bit overweight come October, and I went with him. He gave me a hiding, and I said, okay, by February you won't be able to stay in my wheel. He's laughing at me. So by February I had him out the back. Yeah.
How old is he?
14.
How good is this kid going to be?
Look, I don't know.
We won't let him listen to this, but
he will though. He'll listen. He loves anything about cycling.
He has potential to be has he potential to do what you did?
I think anyone has a potential if they have the drive and a bit of genetics.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say.
You don't want to push him. Like it's his decision.
if he does it for fun, and they've just moved back to Australia, and he's made mates in Melbourne and all over the place. Now he's got a girlfriend in Bendigo that rides bikes, so it's his first girlfriend.
It's too good. He just talks in another language and she loves it.
Yeah, he comes back speaking in these Latin languages.
How excited are you about this, though? Having the young bloke
getting
on the bike.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the next one down on the bike too?
Well, Ava, she's the oldest. She's academic, so.
Yeah.
And Drew, little one, I don't know. She can do. If she wants to ride, she can. But she's a little, free soul.
Yeah, nice. This is good. I'm going to be keeping an eye on this now.
Yeah.
So when's his next race?
Well, he's got the state championships this Saturday.
This Saturday. Where's that at?
Oh, over in close by, shouldn't I?
Oh, should put him under the pump now. He's thinking of
Rutherglen or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
Poor little bugger. I took him down the track last week, Shep track, on his road bike, do a couple of efforts. He likes the time trial. And then he did a standing start and broke the frame.
Oh, my God.
Broke the back end. So we're currently searching for a bike for him.
So he can
been down to
ride.
Lee's, Egan's. He had something that fell through, but we're on the phone,
Jesus.
looking for something.
How are you going to get him a bike before Saturday?
Oh, we're ringing around a few bike shops and hopefully we sort something. Normally, I've got this container ship sitting at the docks at the moment with all my stuff from Spain with bikes on it because we've just purchased a house and we're waiting for the, to move into the thing.
Yeah.
So he could have taken one of them, but that's a no-goer.
No, quarantine or something.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
How tall is he? 6 what?
6 foot.
He's 6 foot and he's what? 14?
14, yeah.
Wowzers. And he's got the same wingspan?
He has actually. Like, he's a carbon copy.
Wow.
Lee says, it's just like riding behind you when you're the same age.
Yeah.
Wowzers.
Yeah. I guess, so you've still got to obviously go back over to Europe for work and stuff. He's going to have some good blokes around here to ride with, isn't he?
That's the thing. What you do find about these country towns is you get good support, and there's good-hearted people here that you can trust. Hence one of the reasons we've moved back here. He has. He's got support. I got Brad Norton. Do you know Brad?
I know the name.
Looking after him. He's current Masters World Champion on the track. So just giving him a little bit of help here and there on the side. No, I don't want anything too much because it should be fun at this age. And
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I was racing against Brad when I was a kid. That's good. Lee's always around.
Yeah.
People like this.
So nice.
And he's more road or track?
He's road at the moment. We'll get him started on the track come summer.
Look at the green.
Okay.
My wife's not too keen.
Really? Why?
Well, so what happened, we had him on the track 3-4 years ago. Took him down there. Off he goes. First session was good. Next session, Steve Fairless gets him behind the bike, right? And I'm behind there as well. So really good. And they're like, this kid's unreal.
Yeah.
Off he goes. And I'm like, do a sprint. And he was getting a bit fatigued. Does a sprint, goes across the line on the fixed wheel, stops pedaling. Over the hangers.
Cartwheel.
Scun himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He won't do it again, though.
My wife was there, and she was like, never again. We had him in the bath. He was screaming.
Yeah.
As all mums do say that, though.
Yeah. He'll be right.
Anyway,
kids.
He'll be right.
He wants to get back on it.
Bloody oath he does.
Yeah.
Hey, he's at that age where he's about to change. You'll love it.
What's your biggest highlight since you're 14? Have you got a story that stands out?
There's so many, to be honest. I don't know. Yeah, like I said, the Olympic gold, the pink jersey. There were moments like personal where I finished the Tour de France one year. I was with Cervelo, and my eldest daughter Ava, she was probably 7, 8 at the time. We have a picture of it. So you do a lap of honour afterwards. Put her on the top tube of the bike, ride up to the top to the Champs-Élysées, and put her in the car there. And then I was chatting to the police motorbike, the gendarmerie, you know, the really serious French police.
Yeah.
And, I like your bike, I like yours. So we switched bikes. I jumped on his motorbike. He said, easy. So I just dropped the clutch and off I went. He's chasing me down, you know. Just moments like that
Yeah.
you know, you can't dream of. And
Yeah.
there's many of those. Many.
Yeah, okay.
No ordinary life is all I can say.
Well, it's not compared to me and you.
No,
Like, this is-
it's bizarre for us, mate. Some of the people we
yeah.
talk to and the travel and the things they've done,
This
it
is
just blows
next
your
level
mind.
stuff sort of thing. This like
So good.
unbelievable career. All right, well, Brett, you've been really generous with your time. We much appreciate it.
Busy
So,
man.
thank you for coming in. Before we finish, we always finish the podcast with 3 questions. And you listened to one today, so you might have warmed up a little bit here. But first question: what was your first car?
Mitsubishi Mirage.
Hang on,
A green one.
we can edit that out.
Did you have a name for it?
No.
No. All right. Next one. It's a bit embarrassing.
That's
but
very embarrassing.
next one. You have travelled all around the world, so I expect something good here. So, what's your favourite food?
Mexican.
Really?
Yeah.
What's your go-to?
Just tacos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I love Mexican food. Yeah.
What's it like when you come back to Australia or you come back to Shepparton and you want some Mexican food?
I don't know where to go, mate.
Actually, probably the next question. Can you cook good?
Yeah. I back myself as a cook.
Nice.
I love cooking.
I like that.
Really?
A lot of slow cook stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Yeah, my wife loves it when I'm home.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because she doesn't have to cook and
Yeah,
you,
exactly.
you do it
Yeah.
all.
But I've got time and I enjoy it, getting in
Yeah.
the kitchen all day.
Beautiful. What do you cook?
What you go to?
Just everything.
Slow
What?
meat.
Slow cook, yeah. Slow cook meat. My mate from Melbourne, he's just started this company. He's got all these herbs pre-done. It just arrived in the mail today, so I'll probably do like a slow cooked pork tomorrow or something.
Okay. All right, last question. 3 people you could invite for dinner, any era, dead or alive, who would they be? He's met some pretty good people too.
Yeah.
Bloody met Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking that.
Oh, God, you got me here. It's a good one.
I'll start doing that every time. Will I?
Yeah.
I like that. Need a buzzer.
You've got, I just,
You got no one.
I
He's
do. but
met
it's
them
just
all. He's all
so
had them
many.
for tea
He's
already.
He's going to sit at the dinner table with
I'm
his
probably
slow
just
cooked
going to,
pork.
I'm going to say it, but it's not going to be the ones that I would have usually.
Put him on the spot.
King George VIII.
That's
Do you like other sport too? Like,
yeah. What's your favourite sport outside of cycling? Oh, sorry, another question.
It's good. I like rugby. Watch a bit of rugby. I got to see All Blacks play France
Yeah,
this year or last year in Stadium France.
That'd
And the
be
French
mad.
got up.
that would have been good.
It was next level.
yeah, I
Yeah.
bet. No, he's not having anyone to
Oh,
dinner.
man.
No,
Gotta have someone. All Blacks, Jonah Lumo.
Yeah. Jeez, I'm really stuck.
you fried him.
You fried me.
Yep.
We can't have that.
He's going to have to phone back and let you know.
No, we can't do that.
So
All
you're
right,
very-
let's just go someone like Anthony Kiedis,
Who's Anthony Kiedis?
lead singer of Chili Peppers. Triple.
Oh,
yeah, I'm with you.
look
Yep,
out.
yep.
Johnny Cash.
Ooh. Hi, I'm Johnny Cash. Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Plucking
No, I
him.
think Barack Obama.
Really?
Yeah.
Wowzers. Political.
different.
Okay, it's different there.
Right,
You
yeah.
like a bit of Johnny Cash?
Yeah.
What's your favourite song? What's your spot now?
He's just trying to cook him, aren't you?
Yeah.
Just tell him to bugger off, mate.
Yeah, we're done.
He's done.
What music do you listen to nowadays?
Everything.
Yeah.
So, oh, you've got me as well. I listen to a lot of different music. Just anything.
Rap? Country?
Kids listen to rap. Yeah, country's good.
You listen to Taylor Swift?
No, my wife does not stop listening to Taylor Swift. Does not stop.
It's funny.
Brett, thanks for coming in, mate. It's been awesome. It's been great to sit down and chat with you. Unbelievable career. Like, it really is.
It was too much to talk about, honestly.
Yeah, to sit back and try and go through your whole career. We probably should have done it in stages, but we probably couldn't get you back because it's too hard. But it's unbelievable, mate. As a Shep bloke, I'm super proud that what you've done and what you've achieved. I think it's unbelievable, fantastic. I'm sure your family is all proud and everything, and you're kicking goals and still kicking them, mate. So it's fantastic. So,
boys. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. So, before we go, guys, Season 2 of Two Blokes from Down Under is brought to us by Ken Muston Automotive. For all your motoring needs, pop down and see the team for Isuzu Ute, Ram Trucks, MG, Jeep, Subaru, Mercedes-Benz. That's Ken Muston Automotive, 215 Benalla Road, Shepparton. And this episode's brought to you by Extons of Benalla, proudly family-owned and operated since 1952. Extons are your one-stop for all your earthworks, bulk haulage and equipment sales. You can find them at 85 Gilly Street, Benalla, or jump on their website at extons.com.au. Benny, another episode.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Can't wait for the next one.
I'd like to do this one again.
Okay. Maybe we'll plan another one down the track.
Nah, can't wait for it.
There you go, guys. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll catch us all next time.
Yeah, show him I can still rap, though. Now I'm in the game, I was on the bench. First I was renting, now I'm collecting rent. First it with the Beamer, now I want the Benz. Spending all the bag like here I go again.